possible. So what will you do with the moments that you have left?
Great American Rugby. Rugby is life and life is great. I'm excited to share an opportunity to partner with Great American Rugby and help grow rugby in the U.S. Sponsoring Great American Rugby gives your brand exposure to a passionate rugby community, whether through logo placements, social media promotions, product giveaways, or brand collaborations. We can find the right fit for you. Here at Great American Rugby, we know that all businesses are different, so we're open to negotiating sponsorship budgets or alternative compensation that works for both of us. If you're interested, please fill out the sponsorship interest form. It'll only take a few minutes, and I'll personally reach out to discuss the next steps. Let's build something that benefits your brand while growing rugby. Thank you for your support. Let's grow rugby together. Rugby is life and life is great. Be great.
How y'all doing? My name is RC. I'm the CEO of a clothing line by the name of Wag Dog. Wag Dog stands for We're All Gonna Die One Day. So live life to the fullest. It's an anti-depression brand I started because in my earlier teenage years, I was gonna kill myself. So I wanted to start a group of people I wish existed when I needed them. So Wag Dog has a lot of different components. Do a lot of different things. Everything from clothing, obviously that was our first one, gaming, community service. We participate in a lot of events, and we just go out and every day, honestly, we just meet as many people as we can and try to change their viewpoint on life from negative to positive. One of the most common misconceptions that I always receive about the brand lies directly within the name. What I want you to understand was that at that point in time when I originally created this slogan, I was going through such a crazy mental episode that I really came to terms with the fact that we're all gonna die. And what I wanted people to receive from this message was that, yeah, we're all gonna die one day, but live life to the fullest, because as far as we know in this life and existence, we only have one turn, one try to get this right. So live it and live it to the fullest.
You know you want me, baby. You know I want you too. Cause I'm your honey, man. I'm really sweet on you. Take one taste of me, girl, and I will rule your world. I wanna grow together. Let's let our love unfurl. Beneath the pale moonlight, where we're dancing slow, I hear whispers of love. Your eyes, they sparkle like stars in the sky. In this moment with you, time just seems to pass by. In the quiet of the night, in a world so still, our hearts beat as one. In this love we fulfill. You know you want me, baby. You know I want you too. Cause I'm your honey, man. I'm really sweet on you. Take one taste of me, girl, and I will rule your world. I wanna grow together. Let's let our love unfurl. You know you want me, baby. You know I want you too. Cause I'm your honey, man. I'm really sweet on you. Take one taste of me, girl, and I will rule your world. I wanna grow together. Let's let our love unfurl. With every beat of my heart, I'm drawing closer to you. And through the seasons of time, our love will stand true. So trust me, don't fear me. Baby, please hear me. There's nobody else for me but you. Our love is never ending. It's only taste of me, girl, and I will rule your world. I wanna grow together, let's let our love unfurl. You know you want me, baby, you know I want you to, cause I'm your honey man, I'm really sweet on you. Take one taste of me, girl, and I will rule your world. I wanna grow together, let's let our love unfurl. You know you want me, baby, you know I want you to, cause I'm your honey man, I'm really sweet on you. Take one taste of me, girl, and I will rule your world. I wanna grow together, let's let our love unfurl.
Welcome back to another episode of That's All I'm Saying. It's your boy Max Dollars, your neighborhood hoop hero, baby, and we are honored to have another guest today, original guest. Everybody, welcome Hosae Jackson back to the stage. How you doing, bro?
I'm good.
Welcome back to the podcast, man. I appreciate you coming back.
Absolutely.
Before we get started, I got to give a shout out to all our sponsors. We want to give out a special shout out to Stillwear Athletic Brand, the Great American Rugby, Wagdod, and the one and only Abasi Steele, the Honey Man. Okay? Now, let's get to the nitty-gritty. Now, last time you was on the show, Jose, we said a lot of controversial things. A lot of things that people wanted to talk about. And I believe you're here to rebuttal. You got a couple responses?
I got a few responses. Let me start here. What we got to stop doing in this sports social media platform space, we got to stop being so emotional about this stuff. We have to actually listen to what's being said or read what's being said and respond to that,
right?
And not be emotional. For example,
I'm listening.
I made the comment that I want to give LeBron credit. Number one, me giving LeBron credit does not discredit anybody else. Me and saying that LeBron is good at something does not mean Michael Jordan sucks at something or Steph Curry is not good at something.
Facts.
It's just giving LeBron credit. I made the statement that let's give LeBron credit for changing the game, for being a creator or an innovator of positionless basketball. That's not an absurd claim.
No.
Look at how the game is played now. It's positionless. They even changed the all-star format from point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, center to guard forward.
Yeah.
That's it, because there's no position. That's not a outlandish claim. And so what was everybody's response to that? Magic Johnson. What about Scottie Pippen?
Right.
I never said that LeBron was the first tall person to play a guard position.
Exactly.
I said he changed the game. And what we have to understand is the difference between changing the game and impacting the game.
Yes, there's a big difference.
It's a huge difference. Magic Johnson impacted the game tremendously.
Yes.
What he did in that, him and Larry, they brought the league back. Who else? Scottie Pippen impacted the game, but they didn't change the game. They didn't change the way the game is played. They impacted it. They didn't change it. There's a big difference, and that's not to discredit Magic Johnson, old heads.
No.
He was really good at what he did, going right, making all those passes and never going left because he couldn't go left or shoot. But he was really good at going right. And that little boo-boo hook shot, it fails sometimes. And he's averaged 19 points a game and like 12 assists a game. And he's really great. He's the top 1, 2, 3-point guard of all time.
I mean, but he was a cheat code. He was 6'8".
6'8".
At a point guard. Every point guard at that particular time was 6 foot and under.
Right.
You know, because
6'1".
You know
tall,
what I mean?
Yeah.
It was the height, because back then they really went off of height.
Right.
However tall you were,
That's the position you played.
Exactly. So when Magic came in, he was so talented at playing point guard. They said, we can't put him at the forward.
Right.
He's not useful at the forward.
He's a playmaker.
We got to put him at the point guard, and he changed the game in that aspect. But a lot of people couldn't follow his footsteps. They didn't change the rules for that.
They didn't change the rules. Teams weren't looking for 6'8" point guards that lacked athleticism and shooting ability.
No.
Nobody was looking for that. Magic was just that good at what he did, that great at what he did, that he was the exception to the rule. But the guards after him, I mean, it maybe got a little taller, 6'3", what was Gary Payton 6'2", 6'3"?
That's evolution.
Yeah, this is evolution.
Yeah.
Period. But the game didn't change because of Magic, but Magic absolutely impacted the game.
Right.
The game changed because of LeBron. I even looked. You can even type in Google. I won't look it up now. And you can type in Google, how did LeBron change the game? And the first thing that comes up in Google is he's an innovator of positionless basketball. I didn't invent Google.
Thank you.
And again, that's not to discredit. That's not to discredit anybody else. It just is what it is. In the same way, Steph Curry changed the game.
Right.
There were shooters before Steph Curry.
Yes.
Plenty of them.
Plenty of them did the same thing.
Yeah, but he did it better in a way that now you look at a fast break. You know basketball. On a fast break,
They
what do guys
shoot
run?
threes.
They run to the corners. They're looking to spread the floor and shoot threes because of Stephen Wardell Curry.
Yes, and you know, I have a rebuttal to that. They want to say that Steph has a bigger impact than LeBron James, right? And one of the reasons they're saying this is because he changed the way we look at three-point shots. That does not take away that running to the three-point line on a 3-on-2 is still a good shot. It's not. Because it depends on who shoots it.
Who shoots it.
Right.
Yeah.
Everybody's not Steph.
Right.
Nobody in the league is shooting like Steph. Only person that you can compare to Steph is probably Buddy Hill. And Kevin.
Buddy Hill?
Think about it. Hold on. There's a stat. When he catches and shoots.
When he don't dribble.
And he don't dribble. He almost 100%. Right? But when he take that one dribble, he 12%.
What Jimmy Butler say? I hate it when you dribble. I hate it when you put the ball on the floor. Don't do it.
Don't do it. Just shoot it. But that's what I'm saying. It depends on the player.
Yeah.
But statistically, a 3-on-2, you go for the highest percentage shot. The highest percentage shot is closest to the rim as possible.
Well, then you get into the analytics, and that's one game I'll never play. I won't play the analytics game because the analytics guys say that 3 is more than 2, and if you shoot more threes, and that's why you got a guy like Anthony Edwards who shot the most threes in the league, and yet is the most athletic person in the league shooting all those threes because of analytics. So I don't play those games. The stat geeks can have that one.
Because it's not basketball.
Yeah.
It's not. It's really a mindset. Like, if you tell everybody that a 3 is more than 2, we all know this. But if you shoot an open shot, your percentage is going to be higher most of the time.
No matter what.
People will believe it. But let's be honest. The highest percentage shot is closest to the rim.
Close to the basket.
It's the closest. You can't stop that.
Facts.
That's why when the game first started, they started inwards and outwards. That's why you had bigs. You would throw it in first. You got to get the big man to touch. If he ain't got nothing, he going to pass it back out. Then you do the pick and roll. Then you do everything else.
Right.
But it starts in because it's the closest to the rim. And that's what these people don't understand. Everybody who thinks Steph has impacted the game, he did. But it's in a negative way. It only impacts him the best.
I don't know about that. I don't know about a negative way.
You said it yourself as the coach.
It's a different way.
As the players you coach, they're shooting them with threes. Can they make?
They're shooting a lot of threes, but here's the difference. Steph's game is mimicable. I don't even know if that's a word.
Which isn't good.
But it's mimicable, but I didn't say that they can duplicate it. Now, I can't shoot like Steph. I'm a 9, 10-year-old, 11-year-old, but the game is mimicable. I can set up plays as a coach that's going to spread the floor and get us a lot of open shots because it's mimicable. And how Steph has changed the game is he's literally changed how the game is played. He's changed how plays are ran. 90s basketball was pick and roll dominated.
Facts.
With the exception of the triangle, which was still free throw line and below for the most part. It was pick and roll dominated because all your superstar players, mid 80s to mid 90s, were bigs.
Yeah.
It was the Patrick Ewings, it was the Hakeems, it was the bigs,
yeah.
the Shaqs, all of that.
Tim Duncan.
So you pick and roll, you get touches down low, and that's how the game was played. And as the guys started to spread the floor, and here's another great example, segueing from one to the other, how the game has changed, how LeBron has impacted the game, and the game has changed. When you start getting positionless basketball, do we ever consider why the floor spacing is so important now? Because everybody on the court is 6'5" and up on most teams. Of course, you have those outliers, but everybody's 6'5", 6'8", 6'9", 7 feet. Everybody, your guards, your forwards, everybody. So what does that do to a defense? That makes you space the floor. Because I can't go play in that mid-post area anymore. Because I got 2 6'7", a 6'9", and a 7-footer standing at the rim.
Yeah.
So now, because of LeBron's impact of positionless basketball, now we have to space the floor, which segues into a Steph Curry that can now pull the defense back. The regular was 20, whatever it is, foot three-pointer. Now we stepping back to 30.
Yeah.
Now guys Dame Lillard shooting a 35-footer comfortably.
Yeah.
With no stress.
So basically what you're saying is that thanks to LeBron James' impact on the game, it helped Steph become the greatest shooter of all time.
I'm going to say thanks to that's fine. I'll say that. That's fine. Because of the building block that LeBron set in positionless basketball, it segued to a Steph Curry and how the game is played now because we value space.
We do value space. And Steph is lucky. Steph is lucky that LeBron came. Because you gotta understand this. Steph is lucky because you can't categorize him as a pure point. You can't categorize him as a shooting guard. Why? If you put him at the 2, and he's supposedly the greatest shooter alive, then he's next to Jordan. He's next to Kobe. He's next to all the real 2 guards who was out there getting real buckets. He can't compare. He's not the greatest if you do that. He's maybe top 5.
To be clear, he's the greatest shooter ever at any position, any place, anywhere.
Shooter is not a position, though.
But it's a skill set.
But it's not a position.
But it's a skill set,
When you count the greatest, they put positions on it. Point guard, shooting guard. That's why they cut.
Well, let me ask this.
Yeah.
What do you want from your position, from that position?
What position, though? Steph? He's not a position.
Point guard, shooting guard, whatever. If you're building a team,
yeah,
and not even you, if anybody's building a team and they say, I need shooting on my team, I got Shaq. I got the most dominant force on the inside. I got Tim Duncan, the most fundamental bucket getter, or Dirk, or whoever you want at the power forward. I got LeBron, at my 3. Now at my 2 and 1, what do I want? Do I want another scorer, or do I want or do I need a shooter? Do I need to space the floor? If you need a shooter, who you going to get? Who's the only player that you're going to go get if you need a shooter on your team? Damn the position. Give me the greatest shooter that ever lived.
But it's the
point guard, shooting guard, whatever guard.
But it's tough though, because I get what you're saying. I would choose Steph if he's the only if that's the lineup. But
that's what I need. I need a shooter.
If I need a shooter, okay, give me your 5 then, because it depends on your 5. Because if your point guard is a pure point, a pure point, not really worried about scoring, is a pure point, then my shooting guard has to be a killer. But he can't just only shoot 3s. I got to get more than that.
But Steph gives you more than that. He don't only shoot 3s. Steph is consistently one of the best rim finishers in the league.
You're right. Float game was on 100.
It's crazy.
But that's because his 3-point is so great.
Okay, that's fine.
I can't knock that. I can't knock that.
I'll take it.
But as a pure point, I need a good 2 guard. I don't know if I would pick Steph as that 2 guard if I have Kobe and Jordan available.
Well, then you've compacted your game, because basketball. So I think that Oklahoma City is going to win the championship this year.
Okay. And
the reason I believe that is because I believe that team is perfectly constructed. They got the scorers. They got 1 through 7, 8 can give you 15 and 10, and you're not surprised.
Facts.
A few of them can give you 35, and you're not surprised. They're perfectly constructed from top to bottom.
Yeah.
Because they have balance.
Yeah.
So when you're building a team, that's what I like. I love balance. I love a team that we can play inside out, outside in. We can run. We can play half court. So when you're building a team, it all depends. For me, you say give me a 5 or give you 5. Give me Steph.
As what?
Bringing the ball up.
See your point.
Bringing the ball up.
Okay.
And listen, give me Steph.
Okay.
Give me Jordan.
Okay.
Give me LeBron.
Okay.
Another playmaker.
Uh-huh.
See what I'm doing here.
Uh-huh.
Give me KG.
Okay.
A defensive dominant dog. And then give me I'd love to go Shaq, but the only reason I won't go Shaq, well, 2 reasons is 1, free throws, because if we're playing by today's standard, free throws, and 2, defensively he's hard. That's a hard matchup on certain guys. Even if you bring like a Joker, Shaq gonna body him in the post, but when Joker catch it off the rim and he's leading that break.
Hold on.
Which
Shaq we talking about?
Is Shaq backpedaling when Joker's out there initiating the pick and roll?
What Shaq are we talking about?
Any Shaq.
Because Shaq was more athletic.
He was way more athletic
than Joker. He could run faster. He could probably dribble better. The only
no, I don't know about that.
You seen Shaq's handles?
No. Joker is a playmaker. Like he's a straight point center.
I ain't gonna give him all that. I ain't gonna give him all that.
He averaged a triple double, bro.
He's the only Shaq-ish person in the league at this moment.
I don't even give him Shaq-ish because Caruso's locking him up in the post. But he's a playmaker. He's a point center.
He's a playmaker, yes. So who's your 5th then?
Give me Hakeem. I think Hakeem can move his feet a little bit better. And he still gives you that post presence, and he can block shots defensively. So give me Hakeem.
So you're going Steph, Jordan, LeBron, KG, and Hakeem Olajuwon.
Yep.
That's a decent 5. I'm gonna give you a 5 that can deal with that. Okay. I'm going GP at point.
Oh, you're dead. You're dead.
GP is gonna lock Steph up.
GP's not locking Steph up because Steph's not a one-on-one matchup guy.
He can get through screens.
All right.
GP is defensive sounded mind only.
You're dead.
Only and
dead meat.
And he's controlling the rock the whole time. I'm not worried about scoring.
R.I.P.
GP, I'm not worried about scoring. He gonna lock in on D.
Go ahead.
Lock up.
Go ahead.
2 guard. I'm going Jordan. Okay. I mean, I can't have the same players. No. I won't have the same.
We make the rules.
I'm going Kobe.
All right.
Okay. I'm going Kobe.
Okay.
3. I'm going Durant.
You have to.
I got to. That's the only person that matches up with LeBron. So match up Kobe with Jordan, Durant with LeBron, KG.
Yeah.
I'm going Giannis.
I like that actually. I like that.
They the same almost.
They about the same, and that goes. I don't mean to cut you off, but that goes back to the positionless thing. If KG played in today's era, I know everybody out there seen the video when he was playing with Team USA.
Yeah.
He frying everybody.
Yeah.
Vince Carter, you get some of this.
Yeah.
Who else was it? Jason Kidd, don't matter. You get some. Yeah. Big, small. He doing. KG had that.
He definitely had it.
Positionless basketball wasn't there yet, so he was a power forward.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? So
he could definitely been the one to change the game.
He could have been.
He definitely could have been. He had the same trajectory and the same time frame. He started out of high school. Same athleticism. Just they weren't ready.
The league wasn't ready.
The league
for
wasn't
it.
ready for
it
that.
Wasn't ready. Yeah.
The league wasn't ready for Lamar Odom. They wasn't ready for Kevin Garnett. They wasn't ready for Derek Coleman.
I think the reason for that though is because at that
Rasheed
time
Wallace.
a lot of those. But you see all those names in that time, like that was the era of the power forward.
Yeah.
For real. Like every team had a gangster. I mean, you can even go down to like a Keith Van Horn, like a cats don't remember. Keith was a bucket. It may not look pretty, but he was a straight bucket. That power forward position was crazy at that time. So you had to match up there.
And that was the old school mentality of basketball. It has changed now. But let me get to my 5.
All right.
So my last position, obviously, I'm going Shaq.
Got to.
GP at the point, him and Steph. Steph,
lighting him up.
But for one, on your team, nobody's setting screens for Steph.
Who's not?
Jordan ain't gonna set no screen.
KG and Olajuwon set screens.
Facts.
Yeah.
I give you that.
KG and Olajuwon set screens.
I give you that.
Yeah.
But ain't none of them a Draymond type of guy. None of them. So
that's fine.
He needs a Draymond.
Well, hold on, wait a minute. Kevin Garnett not a Draymond type of guy?
No.
Come on,
He's
man.
way better than Draymond.
He's absolutely better, but he got that dog too.
Draymond don't shoot.
He the one that's gonna cuss out the refs.
All you're saying is that Steph is not gonna get as many touches. Steph is a volume shooter.
50, 40, 90 ain't volume.
He's a volume shooter.
He's an efficient shooter.
I mean, because he gets the ball every time.
Look, if I get the ball every time, I guarantee you I ain't shooting 50%.
Jordan needs the ball.
Yeah.
You got LeBron that's going to set it up too.
He's a playmaker.
LeBron is your X factor.
Exactly.
He's the X factor.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can beat you with LeBron on your team, but KD is the only person that can match up and has been proven to kind of best him when he had other people that LeBron had to worry about. Because let's be honest, that Warriors team, if it was his team, this is what I want to say. This is what I wanted to say.
Get off your chest.
If you switch Kevin Durant and Steph Curry careers, and KD started with the Warriors, how Steph did, and you put Steph with the Oklahoma City Thunder with Westbrook and Harden, 2 different careers. 2 different careers. Because I tell you why. They have the same attributes. They're both shooters. They're both playmakers off the ball, right? Catch and shoot guys. I can dribble or I can break you down and I can score. The difference is obviously KD is 6'10", right? 7 foot. Other than that, if he was on the Warriors team, this day and age, they would be calling KD the greatest shooter of all time.
The only reason I disagree with that is how Steph shoots the ball. KD is mid-post pin downs. You know, he do a lot of that stuff. He going to get the pin downs, one dribble pull-ups,
so
stuff
you're
like
giving
that.
credit to the long ball. That's what you're giving him
no,
credit for?
I'm giving him credit that his, and this may sound weird, but his size almost is the thing that holds him back in that conversation, because they're going to put him in a lot of positions where it's going to be one-on-one. Steph doesn't play one-on-one, which is what gives defenses fits. Steph don't come down and say, all right, clear out, I'm about to go one-on-one and dance for 15 seconds and then throw up a shot. Only time he throws up a shot like that is when the shot clock is running down. But otherwise, Steph is getting off the ball. He's coming off of double screens. He's coming off of 3-4 different actions, throwing the defensive rhythm off, and then scoring the ball. What is Steph, outside of shooting, one of his greatest attributes is his wind capacity. They say Steph run like 4 or 5 miles a game because he's creating havoc on that end. That's a superpower. KD doesn't do that.
But if KD was in the offense that wanted him to do that,
the offense doesn't do the same.
But if he did that, I'm just saying, if he was in the Warriors offense and all he did was run off screens and catch and shoot, he would do the exact same thing plus more.
But I don't think so. Because if you got a KD, what reason would you need to do that?
He's a shooter.
But he's 6'10".
It don't matter the height. He's
I'm
a
putting
shooter.
him in the mid post.
See, that's your problem.
Pin downs, pop up, and yeah, you can shoot that.
You're boxing him in.
But that's easier for defense. That's why KD has not had success outside of Golden State.
Because
outside of playing next to the greatest shooter of all time.
He can't be next to the greatest shooter when he's out shooting the greatest shooter.
Nah,
he's the greatest shooter.
No, he's playing. Come on, no. Steph is already established. Even KD say it. But the only reason that KD succeeded in that system was because Steph's gravity. It gets him way more open looks.
That's just
way more clean shots. Yeah, it is. Where has he succeeded outside of that?
Because he hasn't been around players that are up to his caliber.
Devin Booker.
I'm saying he ain't been around players that's on his caliber.
Kyrie, James Harden.
None of them. Not on his caliber.
Kyrie, James Harden?
No, they're not, obviously. Listen, Kyrie is a Robin. He's an ultimate Robin.
And then he had 2 Robins then.
He definitely had 2 Robins that thought they were main people, though.
But sheesh, like, how much help does one need?
They weren't ready. I would say this. I would say that Brooklyn team was great if they never had injuries and they was able to get
they did
together.
Have some stuff, yeah.
If they was able to hoop together and not have no problems, they would have won. Guarantee it. Because they just want to win. None of them has ego. James Harden obviously didn't have no ego.
Yeah.
Kyrie ain't got no ego. Kevin Durant don't got no ego. They said who's the dog on the team. All of them is dogs. Yeah. Who's the alpha? Any one of them can be the alpha at any given time because they didn't prove themselves in any game in any season beforehand. You know what I'm saying? Kyrie got the big shot. Kevin Durant got the big shot. James Harden got the MVP. No. He ain't got a big shot. He walked down LeBron in Cleveland. He ain't.
For what?
For the game. You don't remember that?
For what? For like in the playoffs?
Yeah, the finals. The Warriors. See, that's the thing.
Oh, you talking about KD? I thought you said James Harden.
No, not James Harden. He ain't got no big shot.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No,
James
hell no. Hell no. He just got moments in the season.
In the season.
In the
season, James is good as anybody.
He Jordan in the season. This playoffs is different. But if they would never got hurt, they would have had a great opportunity to actually
I'll give you that for that team. They
would have helped, and them winning would have actually helped LeBron's legacy because instead of everybody saying, "Oh, he jumps from team to team and he messes up franchise and all this other stuff," it's been proven that it can be done again. But they didn't do it.
I'll say this to that point: I have Steph over KD all time. I got KD outside of my top 10 all time. Honestly,
that's horrible.
I got him outside of my top 10, and the reason is because again, outside of that Warriors, 2-3 runs stint, 2, and then he tore his Achilles. I mean, you up 3-1.
Don't hold that against them.
Listen, I have to, but it's not just that. You're up 3-1, you lose that. Okay. I mean, the Warriors lost 3-1, so I mean that only holds so much. But then I'll even take the Nets thing out. But then you go team up with Devin Booker, you barely make the playoffs, and then you don't even make the play-in. Jesus Christ! Like you playing with arguably the best, if not top 1, 2, 3 guard in the league, and you can't even make the play-in.
It's a team game. He getting his bucket. Okay. When does
the play-in?
But when does it separate? Okay, as a great player, when does it separate from being a team sport to me individually being good?
In the fourth quarter.
Well, he shows up all the time.
It don't show up in the win column.
Because his team sucks.
It don't show up in the win column.
Bro. Okay.
Come on.
I get it.
You know what I'm saying?
I get it, but there's a point in time where nobody can save a team that ain't got it. If your team don't got heart and they really don't got it, and
then that's a reflection of your leader.
It's a reflection of the franchise.
That's a reflection of your leader.
You done brought horrible players in here.
You got look. I cannot under no circumstance give Kevin Bartholomew Durant, I just made that up, and Devin Lightskin Booker a pass for not making the play-in.
They didn't have a big.
The play-in? I'm sorry.
Who was your third fiddle?
Who made the play-in?
Bradley Beal. And I'm not saying Bradley Beal's a bum. I'm
listen,
not.
I forgot Brad was there.
Exactly.
That's another bucket off that ended up coming off the bench.
Offense wasn't good. They don't have a dominant big to secure at least some type of points. What was the foreign boy name? I can't think of his name. The one that Draymond hit.
Something Vich.
He's decent.
Vukovic.
But Alton was better.
Who? In Portland?
The one that he played for Phoenix first, and that's who they went to the championship with and they lost, remember? DeAndre Alton. He was better. If he would have stayed.
Yeah, he chased the bag. But I mean, was he better? He's a big. But I mean, let's look at who made the playoffs in the West. Who made the play in? I mean, who's the Warriors big?
The Warriors have a system.
All right. That's fair. All right, that's fine. I'll give you that. I won't argue that point. But let's see. Let me see.
But my thing is, as you're looking that up, my thing is Kevin Durant is a better player than Steph Curry. 100%. I would always choose Kevin Durant over Steph Curry in any lineup. I know what Steph brings. I know what he brings. He's a great shooter. But he's not a better basketball player than KD. He's not. Yes, in the system, if I could run off screens, yes, and I utilize my shot and my talents, yes, I'm great. But no, as a basketball player,
if everybody could do it, they do it.
They do it.
They don't.
Everybody has people running off screen. Buddy Hield is a perfect example.
Nah, not like that.
He just don't get the shine like that. There's a difference between getting the opportunity to be great and really being great. Steph has the opportunity.
He earned the opportunity.
He did not earn the opportunity.
Steph didn't earn the opportunity?
No, he was given the opportunity from the jump.
No,
Mark Jackson said these two are the greatest shooters of all time before they did it.
I'm going to show you how he earned the opportunity. When Steph was drafted, who was the man in Golden State?
Monte Ellis.
Mississippi. We know him very well.
Yeah.
We know him very well. Monte was the guy.
Yeah.
They looked, and they had a decision to make. We can either continue with Monte. And this before Monte messed up his ankle on that moped. He was still that dude.
Yeah.
Well, they had a decision to make. They decided to go with Steph Curry because they saw the talent that was there. And then when Mark Jackson was there, remember Mark Jackson had Steph playing a conventional point guard position. And he was averaging like 19, 20, and like 8. Mm-hmm. He was giving good point guard, traditional point guard numbers.
Hold on. 19 points is not a traditional point guard number.
And 8 assists?
8 assists, yes, but 19 points, no.
That's a traditional in today's league? Well, what was
back
that?
then,
15 years ago?
No, it was not.
Sure, it was.
He was a volume scorer. He was scoring because he had to. I'm just saying, if you look at the roster back then, they were putting him in position to be a scorer because he has to be aggressive. He just can't be a shooter. That's why they took him and gave him a child. What's his name? The boy that played for the Clippers and hurt his leg.
Oh, Sean Livingston.
Yeah, Livingston. That's why they brought Livingston over there, to be a pure point.
No, they brought Livingston as a contrast to his game, his play style. The same reason they brought Jimmy this year, to contrast his play style.
Does Livingston score?
Livingston don't miss in the mid-range.
In the mid-range, he doesn't, but he's not a scorer, though.
But it's a contrast. If he's your backup point guard, Steph is giving you 30 already. I only need 8 to 10 to 12 for my backup. Sean gave you that.
He did.
On 99.9% shooting.
He was a dog. Sean Livingston was the man. He was great. If he never got hurt, he would be better, But you saying that they chose Steph over Monte.
They did.
I don't think it's because of basketball reasons. I think it's personal. Monte was a raw dog. Yeah, raw.
I'll give you that.
Straight from Mississippi. He ain't care nothing but hooping. Right? So if we know that, and all hoopers who hoop for real have a chip on their shoulder, they really ain't finna listen to you. I'm going to do me. If it makes sense, I'm going to do it. If it don't, I'm not. Every person says that. Monte even said, we didn't think Steph was going to be like this. We thought he was gonna be
Yeah.
out the league because he had bad ankles.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
nobody expected Steph to be great like this. He just so happened to pan out. You know? So
Yeah,
he was
they-
given an opportunity because from Davidson, they were saying, oh, he's a great shooter, but he's just small, right?
Small, unathletic,
All
that
athletic,
stuff,
yes.
yeah.
So if you have all those characteristics, basically they characterize him as a white boy, right? Unathletic, just a shooter, run off screens,
Yeah.
compared to Monte Ellis, who raw from Mississippi, run a 4.2 in the 40, jump
out the gym.
can score at will. Who am I gonna go with?
Let me ask you this: you've played high level basketball. You've played professional basketball. Where are those decisions made?
In the office,
Now, where are those decisions earned?
on the court,
Where?
by hooping while you playing.
Practice.
Practice.
In practice, I guarantee you, Steph was wearing them boys out. Where coaches had to really sit down, where Mark Jackson and whoever the GM was at the time had to sit down and say, hey, we got a 2-guard set. We got this Klay Thompson kid that's coming in. We need a big. What can we do? Who can we move to bring somebody in? And I believe ain't that the trade that brought Andrew Bogut in, which really set up the Warriors for that first little dynasty run that they were on?
Yeah.
You don't just trade away Monte Ellis. Monte was, I don't want to exaggerate, but he was 24, 25 a night.
Yeah.
Good shooting numbers. I mean, they was calling him like a poor man's Dwayne Wade.
Yeah.
You know, he compared himself to Dwayne Wade, but he was at least, you could mention him in that conversation at that time a little bit.
He was a
there.
problem.
He was a problem.
He was a problem.
So for them to trade that away, they had to see something.
I'm thinking it's more so behind behind closed doors, attitude wise, professional wise. You just not fitting the bill. You know what I'm saying?
I can't speak to that. I've never heard anything negative about Monte.
I haven't either. I haven't either. But I'm saying if you comparing player to player, I'm picking Monte. Back then, I'm picking Monte.
But unless you have some inside information, unless you can see those practices when the doors are closed and you can see what Steph is doing, there's no doubt in my mind that Steph was wearing them folks out, and that made them make a decision.
Ain't no way he was holding Monte though. There's no way.
Monte probably wasn't holding him either. So Steph's first years, what we got here? 17-6, 18-6, 14-6, but that's the year he got hurt, only 26 games. And then he come back 22-7, 24-9. Like those the Mark Jackson years.
Yeah.
You saw the progression.
Yeah.
You saw he was a conventional point guard at that time.
That's not conventional.
I think it is. Who was in the early 20 or mid 2010s through 2014? What were the point guards in the league? Derrick Rose was averaging 24 a game.
MVP though. He had
For
no
that
other
team.
people on his team.
Yeah.
So
I'm good with that. But still, that's your point guard, 24 and maybe 6 assists.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Who else we got?
Damian Lillard was probably in the league at that time.
Yeah.
He's a volume scorer.
He's a scorer. Chris
Chris
Paul
Paul
was there,
is a regular point guard.
but he was probably 17 and 10, 11.
Yeah. Rondo.
8 points, 93 assists a game. something
yeah.
like that.
Back then,
But I'm saying at that time, point guards gave you
they were scoring.
17 to 20 points a game and gave you 7 to 9 assists a game. Those were the higher end good point guards. The great ones gave you double-digit assists. The Chris Pauls gave you 11, 12 assists, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But Steph Curry was playing a conventional point guard role, and he was doing well at it. He was doing well at it.
Yeah, you're right.
So and for me, give me Steph over KD. KD just, as great as he is, as talented as he is offensively, it's just something that's missing. I don't know if it's the leadership aspect. I don't know if it's that. I ain't gonna say that dog because we've seen him like have that fire, that dog in him, but I just ain't never seen KD lead a team. Maybe that's what it is.
Maybe.
I've never seen him be the leader on the floor.
I think he's been the leader, but they just haven't won. That's the only thing.
Well, then you're a bad leader.
I'm just saying. I'm picking KD. Listen, I got a question for you though.
All right, shoot.
Right. You see how the game has changed over time, right? There's always been conversations of the GOAT. There's always been conversations of who's the greatest player of all time, and back in the day, there really wasn't a problem about somebody else being the greatest. There was never like a real issue like there is now, right? So I was thinking, because time repeats itself.
Facts.
Things happen over and over again because it's just rotation of the world.
Right.
There was a Jordan before there was a Jordan, okay? People
Sure.
don't remember this. Now, the Jordan that was before the Jordan was Dr. J.
Dr. J, Julius Erving.
Julius Erving.
Even Jordan said that.
And the fact of it is that he's the exact Jordan is the exact carbon copy of Dr. J. The whole thing. Dr. J
Just improved a little bit.
He just improved a little bit. But Dr. J was great in the ABA, right? And he connected the ABA to the NBA,
Right.
which is great. He's the only one to do what he did and connected the two, right?
Yeah.
Then the new version of him came out, which was Jordan, right? But they're the same player. I actually looked it up. Give me 1 second. They said in comparison, Dr. J, 5 years in the ABA, 11 years in the NBA. Jordan did 15 years in the league, 16 and 15. It's the same thing, right? Dr. J, championships, 2 in the ABA, 1 in the NBA.
Okay.
It's 3. It's decent, you know. There's times was different back then. You know what I'm saying? So
That's just not to cut you off, but to get 1 in the midst of Celtics, Lakers, who else was a dominant force back then? To get 1 in the midst of that, that's pretty impressive.
It's impressive.
Yeah.
As being that great. You know what I'm saying? Jordan obviously has the 6, right? What is this? Points per game, 24 points for Dr. J. Jordan, 30. There's no difference. 6 points, right? There's no difference.
That's a little difference.
Well, think about it, right? 6 points ain't that hard to get. That's a free throw here, a missed layup there. Dr. J really ain't have no threes either.
Yeah.
So he might have been scoring more than that if the opportunity was given.
Nah, he wasn't shooting.
He wasn't shooting
outside
like
of
that.
15 feet.
He was going to the paint. Okay. They called him the pioneer above the rim.
Sure.
Okay. Jordan is the elite scorer, clutch performer, defender. It's the same thing. They're the same player. The description is different, but they're the same exact player. Jordan is the pioneer of all the stuff we got going now. That's why they call him the GOAT. ABA icon, stylish, and trailblazer. Jordan, global icon, brand builder, Air Jordan.
Yeah.
Exact same thing. Dr. J had Converses. Dr. J 2000s. I remember these like they back in the day, right? Great shoe. Converses was Nike. Jordan was supposed to go to Reebok, Converse, one of the big shoes company, but obviously we've seen the movie and they cut a deal, right? But it's the exact same thing, the exact same player, just in times. Now, times have changed again.
Yeah.
Jordan's replacement has came, LeBron. Now, the only difference is that Jordan won the 6 championships. Okay, if we take this, and I understand you can't take the 6 championships away; it's already embedded. But
Right.
if we exclude all championships and just look at play, impact, they're all the same. They average around the same amount of points. They all have crazy athleticism. They all change the game. They're all pioneers of their own different way. The exact same. The only difference that changes is the accolades that was given. Now, Jordan was given crazy accolades in the beginning. We all know the greatest players don't always get all the accolades. It never happens. He just so happens to get every accolade, which is great for him, but it's crazy. LeBron could get MVP every year. Well, he could have got MVP every year in his prime for 10 years straight. Every year he went to the NBA Finals, he could have got MVP of the year of the league. He could have, and nobody could have argued it because he's unstoppable. MVP means the greatest player to your team and in the league. Points don't matter. You can't if you're the greatest player in the league, doesn't mean you score the most. They were giving the MVP to the person who was have the highest point percentage in the league, which is not the same.
All right. So I hear you. Let me start here. You said that in the evolution that Dr. J, Jordan is a reincarnation almost of Dr. J, and then LeBron. Nah. The reincarnation that LeBron is Magic Johnson. Going back to that name. It's Magic Johnson. We've seen the other Michael Jordan, Kobe being Bryant. And we've seen that prototypical two-guard style, the 6'6", 6'6", 6'7", 2-guard, scores, all that. We've seen the Jordan carbon copies. LeBron is the evolution of Magic Johnson. He's all the things that Magic Johnson was with his size and vision, multiplied when it comes to athleticism and all the other things that Magic really didn't have, right? So that's that. And secondly, yeah, this brings me to another topic kind of that I was wanting to talk about. I saw on another podcast where they said, is Anthony Edwards a generational talent? And the podcaster said no. And I agree with that. Anthony Edwards is not a generational talent. We've seen that talent before. Anthony Edwards is just better than them. We've seen Andre Iguodala come in for the Sixers. As athletic as anybody ever. Strong, powerful, probably couldn't shoot as well as Ant. But we've seen that prototypical size and style before. We've seen even Tracy McGrady. Like, he has that same, he was taller, but same scoring guard, could jump out the gym. We've seen Anthony Edwards' style and play and physicality and athleticism before. Ant just might be better. So, yeah, Mike saw Dr. J. Mike better, though. He's significantly better. In the same way that I believe LeBron is significantly better than Magic Johnson. Now, does that mean that I think we have to do a better job of defining better, though, you know? Because I made the comment the last time we spoke that if the aliens came down and they wanted to see basketball, show them LeBron. And a lot of people thought that meant I'm saying LeBron is the greatest of all time ever, blah, 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 blah. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that when you write down basketball on what is basketball? Dribble, pass, shoot, score, defend, blah, blah, blah. LeBron does all of those things at a high level. Some people got mad at me and said, LeBron ball handle, LeBron defend, he don't do that. Again, as a basketball player, you know, Chris Paul probably has some of the best handles the league has seen in a long time. Just because he don't go through his legs 1,000 times doesn't mean he don't have handles.
Right.
To me, handles is, what's your assist-to-turnover ratio?
Right.
Is anybody picking your pocket? That's a good handle on the ball.
Right.
You know, that's what I teach my kids. I don't care about how many times you can go behind your back. Can you get the ball from point A to point B without it getting turned over? That's a good handle on the ball.
Right.
So, again, that's not me saying that LeBron is the greatest. I'm not saying he's not. But I'm just saying if you're looking at those things that make up the game, dribble, pass, shoot, score, defend, blah, 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 LeBron does all of those things at a super high level. And take that for what it is, you know? So, again, I think that you know my stance on the GOAT debate. I don't have a GOAT. I believe that there's probably maybe 6 or 7 players throughout history that can make a case for the GOAT. Kareem can make a case for the GOAT.
First to do it.
I'm going to make some people mad. Please keep Bill Russell's name out of that conversation. I know he got the chips.
He's a great team. He's a team.
Great team guy.
Yeah.
Please keep his name out that debate, all right? Because nobody is saying, hey, we down. We need a bucket.
And gives to Bill.
Give it to Bill. Nah, bro. We're not doing that, okay? But it's a good 5 or 6 cats that have a legitimate argument for the GOAT. And we just have to do a better job of defining what it means to be better. Just because Steph is the greatest shooter of all time, does that mean he's better than Michael Jordan?
You're right. It depends on what your definition of better is.
Better is, yeah.
But the only thing that people are doing is they're going off of championships. That's it.
We got to stop that.
And it's not the case because a championship is basically by luck. You get to the finals, yes, you have to get there.
You got to fight to get there.
Yeah, but by winning is all luck. You don't know what's going to happen. Your team has to be good. Your players have to come ready to play. You can be the greatest player of all time. We've seen LeBron go for 40.
Yeah.
He ran the whole playoffs and averaged 40 the whole time and still lost. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can be great, but your team has to be capable of winning and helping you win. It's all about luck and to get into the team. Like,
I ain't going to say luck. I ain't going to say luck. I will say that there's definitely a high level of skill and everything that goes into it. So I won't say luck. But to your point, hey, if
2 teams get there, it's 50-50. If you get there on the East and I get there on the West, okay, it's 50-50 who's going to win this game. We don't know because you got there by some certain way. You know what I'm saying? Like, you done beat the whole East some certain way to get there, and I done beat the whole West by strategy. But now we coming head to head. My strategy might not work against you. I gotta change something
Styles
up.
make the fight.
Exactly.
Styles make the fight.
And
The
you don't
matchups
know
are different.
you don't know what's gonna happen. Like KD getting that the ACL, the Achilles tear. If he never gets the Achilles tear, they're gonna win.
Or Kyrie, Kevin Love going down.
Don't go hurt. You know what I'm saying? It's 50-50. You don't know what's gonna happen when you get there. So that's why I'm saying, like, everybody talk about this GOAT and Jordan went 6-0 and all this stuff. They got lucky.
I ain't gonna say that.
The
That
team
matters.
stayed healthy.
Yeah.
The team stayed healthy. If Pippen goes down, he's not winning. If Pippen goes down in any of them games, he's not winning, bro. We all know this because we see his record without Pippen.
I should have worn my flu games today.
You should have, because you know I'm spitting that shit today, for real.
I don't know. I'm not. Again, I ain't gonna say luck, because it does take a tremendous amount of skill. It takes some focus. It takes determination. I mean, you can even see, like, you know, OKC just got Timberwolves up out of there, and Rudy Gobert averaged like 6 rebounds a game. Like, come on, we know he's better than that. Like, he's trash. Like,
I'm about to say, is he?
None of us like him, but 6 rebounds a game at 7 feet and athletic, you know, that's just a lack of focus. That's a lack of determination. That's a lack of fight.
He don't have coordination.
But just jump up high and get the ball.
He can.
That's it. From wherever you at.
It goes through his hands every time. But we know this. I don't expect Rudy he's lucky he got those Defensive Player of the Year awards, because if it wasn't for them, he would not be in the league.
Draymond was right. You can't be Defensive Player of the Year and they subbing you out in the fourth quarter for defensive purposes.
That's the league's fault, though.
Yeah.
The league picks the wrong people.
Yeah.
They go off of stats sometimes when it's an eye test.
Yeah, you have to look at the game.
Yeah, watch the game. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm telling you, LeBron should have had 10 MVPs. And then they would have been mad. Okay. On point. They would have been mad.
To that same point, Mike should have 10 too.
How many does he have?
What he got?
Like 5.
Yeah, he got a few. But Mike could win it every year.
He could have won it every year. I'm not saying he couldn't. I'm not saying, but to be real, the MVP is the best player in the league. It doesn't mean you score the most, because you have a scoring title.
It depends, though. And this ain't my opinion. It's just the league goes back and forth with it sometimes. Because, use Derrick Rose again. LeBron had the better numbers. But, like you said, Derrick Rose was the most valuable player to his team's success. Because if Derrick Rose don't give you 24 a night, man, them cats couldn't beat me and you.
That's a fact.
Who getting 20? Joakim Noah?
That's a fact. He ain't shooting free throws at all.
Yeah, you know. Although, I didn't mean to bring up no old stuff, because I know you played Joakim at one time.
Yeah, but you know, I still thought he was a bum back then, because he can't shoot.
But I'm saying, so that's what I'm saying. They gave Derrick Rose the MVP, even though LeBron's numbers were better. LeBron still had D Wade, Chris Bosh. That team could have still made the playoffs and maybe even made some noise in the playoffs. Without D Rose, that Bulls team was very bad. Very, very bad.
I agree.
So, but the league goes back and forth, because, I mean,
they go off of who they want. It's all opinion based.
It is, because, you know, Shea got it this year, and I'm not mad at that. I think he earned it to a certain extent, but Jokic also averaged a triple-double from the center position. When Russ did that, we was ready to blow the world up. Oh, my God, this is the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
So what's changed? Yeah. Is it not great anymore? But that's a league thing.
It's a league thing. They don't want to give it to the same person every time, because then they have to people get tired. Yeah. Like, Joker got 5 MVPs. How he got 5 MVPs? You know what I'm saying? You know, but it's not. It just doesn't make any sense. Yeah. It doesn't. I don't think he deserved 4. I don't think he deserves 4. I think he deserves 2, you know, at most. Because, I mean, you're not changing your play. Your game stays the same, right? So if you're doing the exact same thing as you did before, that doesn't qualify you for the same reward. You got to do something better, you know? And you're not winning.
Again, it depends on how they define it. And I don't know how they define it. I honestly don't. If it were me, I would make an MVP award, and then I would give an award for the best offensive player. Yeah. That way we can differentiate. Now we can give whoever, you know, I know there's a scoring award, but I think Shea is the best offensive player in the league this year. Yeah. I think most people can agree with that. Does that mean he's the MVP? I don't know. Most valuable? I don't know. I think some other players may have had more value to their team's success. Like, without player X, that team is, you know, in Cancun by by February. You know what I'm saying?
No, for sure. And Jose, I wanted to make a point. As I'm going through my comments, right?
Oh man, them comments
go crazy.
Y'all wild.
As I'm going through the comments and I'm seeing people's response to this Jordan LeBron debate, right? It occurs to me that everybody who likes Jordan works at a job 9 to 5. They all have a 401k. Okay? And that's why they always say loyalty. They stick to your team. Loyalty. You don't change. You don't do nothing. Okay, that's fine. But that's your life because you live in a 401k world. You live in a 95.
Hey, my 401k nice, bro.
But you ain't gonna leave your job, right?
Nah, they want to drag me out of there.
Loyalty. That's the exact same thing all these old heads are talking about Jordan. Loyalty. Mm-hmm. You don't switch. You don't cry and bring people to you. You stay and you fight and you build the ground zero and on up, right? I get that. But LeBron is an entrepreneur. There's a difference. An entrepreneur does what he wants, goes where he wants, does how he pleases, and still gets the job done. A person who works at a 9 to 5 is dependent on the system. I'm going to go here, I'm going to work until my time, and then I'm going to leave.
Right.
An entrepreneur don't work in the system. He is the system. I work when I want, however long I want, and how hard I want, and I get my return.
Right.
It's two different things, and that's what I'm trying to tell these people on the net and on my comments. You that love Jordan, you all work in a 9 to 5. You all suck and work at a 9 to 5, and you're worried about your 401k. LeBron is an entrepreneur. Every person who likes LeBron understands the role that LeBron does. He's an entrepreneur. He's a free willer. I'm going to do what I want, and I'm going to still win.
But so here's the difference. I hear what you're saying, but here's the difference. I remember a certain president said once that, he started his entrepreneurial career with a small business loan of $1 million. That's how he started. I think that's how we view LeBron. Yeah, he's an entrepreneur, but my boy, Chris Bosh and D Wade, the top 5 picks in their prime. Like, yeah, you're an entrepreneur, but that would be the equivalent of Jordan saying, "Hey, Charles Barkley, why don't you come over here to Chicago? Or better yet, I'll come over there to Phoenix or Philly, wherever you were at the time."
You don't think they talked? You don't think they never talked about that?
They didn't know. They didn't do it.
They couldn't at the time.
They didn't do it though. They could have. Because Charles went to Houston.
Yeah.
And then when they chased that ring with Hakeem and Clyde, they could have done it. They chose not to. And for whatever reason, I ain't gonna say whatever. I'm just saying that if you're saying LeBron's an entrepreneur, and I will give LeBron that credit because he, again, another thing that he changed is player empowerment, because we see it all the time now. We see KD go where he want to go. Kyrie go where he want to go. These players are now empowered to go where they want to go, which I actually like, because prior to that, you were at the mercy of the team.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You signed his contract. Like a great example of that is Boogie Cousins. Boogie Cousins, he bet on himself. He got hurt. And then it was get rid of Boogie, league minimum deals, this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
Now it's player empowerment. No, I'm going to dictate what I want to do. Giannis is about to dictate what he wants to do. I gave you all 7-8 years with no return on investment. So now I'm choosing me, and I'm going to go. So shout out to LeBron for that. But if we're going to talk entrepreneurial stuff, then you have to understand that teaming up with D Wade and Chris Bosh, and then going and get Ray Allen from Boston and Mike Miller and all these top-tier picks, even though they were older at the time, I'll give you that. But still, they know how to play. Shane Battier. All these guys, like that's like that small $1 million loan that a certain president got. Like, we're not all able.
but
we ain't all able.
But can you fault the guy for having a gravity pull for people wanting to play with him? It's not his fault.
He didn't have the gravity pull.
How?
Because he left.
Hold on. He only left Cleveland because they did not give him the opportunity to bring other people. They did not bring nobody.
I've heard D Wade talk about it, and they said LeBron, when he said, "Why don't y'all come to Cleveland?" You know what D Wade said?
I'm not going to Cleveland.
No, I'm not going to Cleveland.
I'm not going to Cleveland.
You can come to Miami.
Exactly.
And that's what he did. So is that really gravity pull, or is that?
No, I'm talking about after that. Because after he made that decision to go to Miami, right? Everything after that is a gravity pull. Everything after that is a gravity pull because he's already showed that I can win. Everybody wants to be with a winner. I say this. In high school, if you had an opportunity to go to another high school and win without no backlash or nothing, you would have went.
I can't say that I would have.
You sure?
I'm sure.
To go to college? To get to the next level? You're at a high school who ain't winning.
It depends, though. Do I go? Am I the 6th, 7th man off the bench?
You're
or
the
do
guy.
I go play.
No, you're the guy.
Then why ain't I winning where I'm at?
Because your team sucks. It's not your fault. You can't control who comes to the school because it's usually neighborhood, right?
Right.
You're in your vicinity.
Yeah, it's supposed to be at least.
Right. But I mean, there's rules on it. But if you're in a school, right, and your school sucks, but you're the guy, right, and you just leave because you want to go win, and you go to another team what's good, it's not your fault. You chose to bet on yourself to go win.
This is why I got to agree with the internet on this one, bro, because I believe in winning on my own terms. I saw your park example, and I'm going to put it like this, and I know we were short on time, so I'm going to put it like this. If I'm in the park and the team beats me 3 times in a row, and one of their players drop, and they say, hey, Jose, we want to pick you up. Nah, go pick somebody else up. I got next. I need my get back. I'm not joining y'all. I need my get back.
But you're not the reason y'all lost.
It don't matter, but I'm going to be the reason we win.
But you're not going to be the reason y'all win because you're going to lose
I am.
again.
I'm finna go pick me 4 up off the side, and we coming back, and we going
4 other losers.
That's fine. We going to win before the day over.
You crazy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is another episode of That's All I'm Saying. I'm your boy, Max Dollars. We got Hosae Jackson in the building. We appreciate you coming in and having a good talk with us, man. We appreciate you, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate y'all. Click in and sign in to the YouTube and IG. We always out there. MaxDollars.com. We popping. Max Dollars speaks, and we out. Have a good night.
Peace.